If you're still getting rugged in 2025, then all you're doing is funding some 16-year-old rug puller kid's Lamborghini. And we don't want that, do we? We want to be getting that Lamborghini ourselves. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to look out for these rug pulls. And you don't need any other external tool to do this. All you need is Axiom Pro. The link for that will be down in the description below. It is the best meme coin exchange if you're not using it already. So the first thing you want to be doing when you're double checking a coin to make sure it's not a rug pull is to go down to the holders section right here on any meme coin. So once you've got a meme coin open, scroll down towards holders. If you're using TradeWiz or anything else like that, then it will only show the whale wallets who have bought into it on this only track section. So if you unclick this only track section, that is if you're using TradeWiz, then you'll be able to see all of the holders. Now, in this top 20 of holders, what we need to be looking out for is these type of people right here, where they've got a very, very small Solana balance, but they've bought thousands worth of the coin. Now, if the top 10 and 20 is just full of wallets, just like this one, then it is best to stay away from it. But if you've got a mixture of Solana bags, like for example, this wallet who is second, they've got a Solana balance of pretty much 80 Solana, and they've got 2.5k invested into it. Then you've got a lot of others who've got anywhere between 1 to 5 sol, and this one looks okay. Even though you've got a couple of these wallets that don't have a massive Solana balance, you've still got quite a few that have got a decent amount in. But if the whole tab was full of just like this one, where they've got no balance whatsoever, but holding a massive majority, then just stay away from that token. Another thing to look out for as well, this is great for not just seeing if it's a rug pull, but just to see if you're going to be wasting your money or not by investing into this meme coin. And that is by looking at the holders section again and looking at this average buy. This average buy shows on average when these whale wallets bought into the token. So this one bought in at 86k market cap, 65k market cap, 58k market cap. And then what you do, so let's say, for example, you looked at this token and it was at 150k market cap. And all these top 20 holders bought in at, let's say, 20 to 30k market cap. If that's the case, you might be too late to jump into this meme coin, depending on how much volume is being pumped into it. So if you see the volume slowing down and it's not surpassing 150k, it's not growing quickly, then it's probably best to stay away from that meme coin because you're late. And what that would mean is when you invested into that token, you would just become some exit liquidity for the top 20 holders. But everything's different case by case. And one of the best ways to see that is just by going to the volume section. So if you don't know how to activate this volume indicator, just go to this indicator section at the top of the chart, type in volume. And what I usually do is I'll go down to the 5-second chart and just have a look at the overall volume in general. If we're seeing growth, so if we're seeing in the past couple minutes, we're seeing that the volume's going on an uptrend like this, or even if you see like a bit of a downtrend and it goes on a massive uptrend again and continues to go upwards, then that's a good sign. But if you're seeing that the volume is overall in a bearish trend, just going down, and there's not been massive spikes going above 2k, above 4k, then what that should tell you is that liquidity is coming out of this meme coin. There's not much volume that's being put back into it. So it's probably best to stay away. You're probably a bit late, especially if the coin is already a couple minutes old. But if it's different, if it's following some type of narrative and the volume's on an uptrend, then it doesn't really matter what the average entry price is for these whale wallets because you're still into it while it's still growing. Another tip on this tab, if you go over to this section right here, you can click the bubble maps. And the bubble maps is really interesting because it shows you exactly how many wallets are connected to each other. So you can see in percentages how much this wallet holds of the overall token. So these clusters, this one holds 3%, this one holds 2%, this one holds 1.5%, this one holds just 1%, 1%, and then just about 0.5%. So if you see loads of clusters that go over 10 to 20% of the token, that means that there's insider wallets that have, and that's something you want to stay away from as well, because these are wallets that hold a massive percentage of the token. The minute that this cluster of wallets, so this person basically owns these 3 wallets right here, and they're holding 3% value of the token. So let's say, for example, they held 10 to 20% of the token, and then they decided to sell the token on all those wallets, then the price would immediately crash. So that is one thing that you've always got to look out for, especially with meme coins just like this, because this holder section and this bubble map section is a massive indicator if something is going to rug pull or not. The next step is one of the best ways to actually see if something's a rug pull or not, and that is to look at the bundlers. So a bundle is one actor that is using multiple wallets to control the supply. Bundles aren't automatically evil. It depends on the percentage of how much is bundled and how many bundlers there are. But like I said before, this is all coming down to this. But this is all around the bubble map section. So this is just showing you how many people and how many wallets are all tied together. So if it's usually over 20%, then, you know, it's not really worth going into it at all. And if you see a lot of the top holders that are fresh wallets that were only created today or in the last 24 hours, and they've only been funded once, and they have a low solana balance and links to clusters just like this, then that is a hard pass. That is something that you really want to stay away from, because it's just going to dump at one point. Even if the volume's going up, it is just going to dump, because these bundlers, what you can do is just artificially inflate the value of the token by investing more into it to make it seem like there's more holders and more volume. But one of the best ways that I've been able to use, so obviously you can use the bubble maps, you can then go ahead and check all the top 10 holders, when they were created, etc. But probably one of the best ways is to use this UXento. I think that's how you say it. You can find the link to that in our description below. It's a free tool that allows you to track all of the alpha groups that are available on Discord. A lot of these paid alpha groups, you can see every single one of the tokens that they invest into. If you just have this open, see right there, this new one, Clipcoin. And let's just look at this token, for example. This is 4.1 million market cap at the moment. So obviously this is a well-performing one. But if we went back to this prank one, click the UXento once you've downloaded the Chrome extension, got everything set up. Click this bundle check button right here, because then this will show you the amount of bundlers that are actually available. Click this section right here, and if you see that there's the total bundled and they've got 10%, but there's no remaining bundle, that means that all the wallets that were connected that decided to invest into this token have exited. But if you see remaining bundle, and if there's any green percentage of remaining bundle that is a high majority, then that is something that you want to stay away from as well. If you see a lot of these bundles where they're owning a massive percentage of the token and they've got some remaining as well, the minute they sell them, then it's just going to cause a massive tank in price. There's going to be a massive sell-off. And if there's no more new volume coming in, then the token is slowly going to die off, because as long as there's no new volume coming in, all the active holders will be watching, trying to see if there's new volume coming in. But if they all start seeing that the price is crashing, then the more people start to sell. And if you're not one of the first to do so, then you're going to be selling down here at a 50% loss, or even more in some cases. Another great step is to see if the whales are already selling. So every time the price increases on these meme coins, if you see the price increase on these meme, if you see a massive spike, go down to the holders section and just look at the amount remaining in the top 10 or the top 20. If they start selling off when there's a spike in volume and a spike in price, then what you can tell from that is that your liquidity, if that makes sense, if they all start selling as much as possible and the sell-ins is strength, then you're not early, you're just liquidity for these top 10 holders. Just check the amount bought versus the amount sold. If a lot of these top 10 are already selling or have already sold, then you've missed the boat. And if multiple top holders exit within a short window, so if you just start seeing that they've all sold, that one sold, then exit as quickly as possible and just ask questions later, because if the top 10 holders all start selling, they hold the vast majority of the token. So the minute they all start selling, then that's just going to crash even more. Oh, fucking. So on the pull section, there's a couple things you can do to the filters just to help you with this process, just to help minimize a lot of the rug pulls. If you're newer, then in general, to be honest, I don't really recommend trading the new purse section. I don't think there's any need. I think it's really highly risky, and you may as well wait till you get into the final stretch section, because that just gives you an extra look and just to know that these are about to potentially migrate. The vast majority of the ones in new pairs will not go anywhere near migration. I don't really recommend it, especially if you're a beginner. I don't trade it. I've lost too much money trying to trade new pairs. It's just a gamble in my opinion. So I highly recommend just to completely stay away from new pairs, go to the final stretch section. So for the protocols, you want to just keep to the high volume launch pads. And at the minute, a lot of them are pretty much pump and bonk. There is a couple others like Heaven that do quite well and bags. But what I've literally just been trading mostly is just been pump, bonk, Heaven, and this Believe as well sometimes. So firstly, we want to be hiding tokens that are above your threshold. And the best way to do that is just to go to bundlers and to have the maximum amount of bundlers be 30%. Sometimes though, the bundlers can be very high on these final stretch sections, so you could increase this to 50% just with a bit more due diligence into the Memecoin token, because especially if it's only a couple thousand market cap at the start. So for me metrics, I've just put the market cap at 11,000, and then the global fees paid I've put 0.5. This is a massive way to get rid of a lot of the rug pulls that will be coming up. And that is to either put your global fees paid to 0.5 or 1, because this is, again, a massive indicator of a potential rug pull. So if you go onto here, you can see the market cap for this is 16,000. I'm not investing into this token. It's just for an example. And you can see the global fees paid right here are over. Usually that means that this is potentially a decent meme coin. But you will find with a lot of these meme coins that are rug pulls. So like this one is migrated, for example, and you can see that the global fees paid are less than 0.5. There's 0.01. This is probably one of the best indicators for rug pulls in general. Is it does not, if you're seeing that it's a 500k market cap and you've got global fees paid of 0.01 or hardly any. So just for an example, that one that we looked at was 16k market cap and the global fees paid were 1.5, and now it's at 10k, it's 1.5. And you can see with this one, it's 0.01, 500k. Just that is one of the best indicators. One of the quickest ways to do so as well. Obviously, you've got all the other ways, looking at bundlers, looking at everything else. But this is one thing that I look at straight away. If I jump onto it, I see a weird pattern just like this one. Usually there are weird patterns like this where it's slowly increasing. You're not seeing massive dips. And yeah, just look at the global fees paid. You'll be able to tell straight away. So what you can do, another little amazing reason why you should be using Axiom as well. So if you see a lot of these tokens, you can see that this person has migrated 3 meme coins in the past, this wallet that has done so. So what you can do is you can actually, if you scroll to the actual picture and just hover over the picture, the bottom left button, blacklist dev, will then any further meme coin that they post from that wallet, that developer wallet, you will not see it in the pulse section, in your wallet tracker, anywhere. And that is absolutely amazing. The more you can do that, the more you see those rug pulls and everything, then the more you can just blacklist them developers. Obviously, they're going to create new developer accounts and everything else like that, but it's just a great tactic that you can do.